What's going on, guys? Marten here. So this is the last day of the month and the bears are once again in control of the market, and in today's video we'll do a follow-up on what has happened to Ethereum, EOS and Tron and see what kind of predictions we could make here for the weekend. So let's get started with the total altcoin market. At the very moment we are trading around 60 billion, and earlier we did go up here to 65 billion, and go back in time we see that there is resistance in this 65 area, and now we're here at 60. Do have a little bit support here. But let's look at the the monthly chart for Ethereum since November 30th is today. Monthly candlestick looking very negative. We close here near the very low. So if we look at this chart, we could likely go even lower here for Ethereum. And we don't have any visible support really. Perhaps we do have that around 80. We're now around 110 here, 112. On the other hand, since the very high here for Ethereum up at around 1600, we have retraced 94%. So that could definitely be enough for such a move that we've had here. But let's focus on the daily chart, and today Ethereum is down 3% here, and the daily high here on Wednesday we almost touched this fib level around 127 where we had resistance. So that was a lot of trouble for Ethereum in this area. And then yesterday we did close here at this supporting trend line, and today we have gone out of this, so broken out to the downside. And RSI is once again below 30 in oversold, so it seems like we're having a rough time here to get into this purple area above 30. But as always, watch the daily close here. This is still afternoon here in my time. But as of now, we are bearish here in the short term. If we look at the 8-hour chart, we can clearly see here that this supporting trend line that we've had lasted here. And then we've had 5 negative candlesticks in a row here. And here we can see that the volume also did increase. But a bullish short-term scenario, what would that be? That would first be to take out this resistance line here and also go above the 20 EMA and get a close above 120. That would be my short-term bullish scenario. So let's move over to EOS, daily short against the dollar, and actually 8-hour chart. So on Wednesday here we can see that EOS did go up to 20 EMA, but then we lost this supporting trend line, and then we thought that EOS might make a new low here. And that is what have happened here. We've made a new low today at $2.8. So still look bearish here in the short term, and if we were to get another 8-hour close or the next candlestick, if we make another new low here, this could obviously continue to the downside. But what would be the bullish short-term scenario? That would be a RSI divergence, since we do have a higher low here on the RSI on the 8-hour chart compared to this one here, and also the price made a new low here. So we're right at this 30 level on the RSI. But remember here that we don't want to go below 30. So a close above 30, and then we need to penetrate this resistance and also get a close above $3. So that would be a nice RSI divergence setup. But also remember here that the daily RSI for EOS is only at 23 right now, so clearly in oversold on the daily, and it doesn't look any kind of bullish if you look at this chart. Still looking very negative. But as I mentioned, this is for the very short term here, and we also have a falling wedge here, as you can see. So which is a bullish setup potentially. But let's have a look at Tron. Tron has been performing a little bit better than Ethereum and EOS. But in the last video we did mention that could be a good time to take some short-term profits. And we can see here that Tron did have a lot of problems here once we reached the upper Bollinger Band. And since the last video we did make a new high at $0.017. But then earlier today here we did lose this supporting trend line here. So that was the first negative sign here in the short term. And obviously then we've made another low here on the 8-hour. But we are still above the 20 EMA here, so a little bit of a good sign. So what would be a short-term bullish case here? Well, if that were to happen, we need to penetrate this descending trend line here. And we also need to take out the high from up here, a close above, basically I would say 0.016. So that would be, we need some major action here to the upside if we were to get that kind of setup. And if we look at a short-term bearish case, a 8-hour close below the 20 EMA would be negative here. And obviously also another lower low here on, so the next candlestick would take out this low here, and even more negative, a close below this fib level at 0.0134. Finally, let's have a look at the daily chart for Tron. So here we can see that Tron did go up to the 20 EMA. And did go a little bit higher as well, but in close above it, close below, and now we have this negative candlestick forming here. So what is the weekend outlook here for cryptos overall? Well, as we mentioned earlier, the bears are in charge, so I want you to watch the daily close for all these cryptos. And tomorrow is actually a new month, December. So are there any possibilities that a new strength could come into the market? Let's have a look at the Bitcoin price seasonality chart. This is by no means 100% prediction sure, but it's always interesting to have a look at these numbers. Obviously November failed big time. The average rise was 30%, but Bitcoin and altcoins fell dramatically in November. But it's always interesting to have a look at these monthly stats. So we can see here that December is actually the very best month in the history of Bitcoin, and basically we can use this for altcoins as well. So the average for December is 44% up. So it was just wanted to show you this since we are heading into a new month here tomorrow. So finally, head over to our homepage, altcoinbuzz.io, and here we can see another positive news about Bitcoin and cryptos. Ohio allows businesses to pay their taxes with Bitcoin. So overall, I'm very bullish for cryptos in the long term, but we do have some struggles here in the short term and perhaps medium term. And that's all I have. I wish you a great weekend and have a good day. Goodbye.